It's a bit laggy. Welcome to the Out There channel, live stream 445. We got Rob Farmer joining us. There's the CPU going on this 100%.
Hiding, I'm searching, I'm loving, I'm finding love. I'm hiding, I'm searching, I'm loving, I'm finding love.
I'll just get rid of that preview thing. Slows it down a bit. Messages popping up. CPU.
Hiding. I'm searching. I'm loving. I'm finding.
Okay, we're down into the basement. Hello. Good to be back. So we haven't tried this chat for a while. But yeah, it's just pushing my poor old laptop to the maximum CPU here. And I haven't even got my avatar up, you know. I'll bring it up after the intro. Are we back to the desktop? Yeah, and Robert's disappeared. We got an error message. I thought we got rid of all those suckers. I think because the CPU mic appears to be noisy, it reckons. Is it noisy? I can't hear any noises. Let's see, we better do a feedback check. 1, 2, 3. Are you there, Robert?
Yes, indeed. 2, 4, 6.
Okay, so we ain't got anyone on to tell us if it's sounding alright. Yet, I don't think. Just resume that now.
I'll just open up the YouTube channel, see if there's anybody out there.
Yeah. That's alright. We just got to do a few pre-checks before we kick off here. Wait to be too.
Actually, on your channel, it's not actually showing that you're live as yet. Oh, yes, it is now. I had to refresh the page. Actually, on your channel. There we go. No big deal.
Oh.
All good.
Okay, we got Alien. Where should we stick him? Down there, probably. That'll do. And yeah, anyone out there? We should probably pin my channel if you want to give a donation, but you can use Super Chat because the Out There channel .wordpress .com if you want to join Discord and get best videos and donate, etc. Okay, did it come up alright? And sometimes I mistype it. Pin message. It's a nice little feature they added there. Alright, so that's good. So who's out there? Anyone yet? Or was it just me and Robert going? Hello, anyone out there? And welcome to the OT channel, Live-445. Robert is back. Well, he didn't really go, he just went on to do his own thing. Although we did sort of part ways a wee bit, but my door was always open for him to come back anytime he wanted to, and he has, obviously. So yeah, I think aliens want us to all get on in this world, and don't fall for our human hatreds and killing instincts that's in us. They want us to levitate to a higher level of consciousness, right? You've often heard that quite a lot. And I think that's they seek the people with the good qualities, right? The people that are trying to help others and do good to the world, rather than focus on the haters and warmongers out there, which there's still quite a few humans doing that, because looks like it's
I'm not sure I believe all this human initiated contact that we hear so much about these days, though.
No, I don't think you can call aliens, but they'll seek you out if they see you're connected to other people they're in contact with. I think you got more chance of being visited, and that's exactly what's probably been happening with you as well as me. And we're still yet to try and explain some of our craziness, and people either believe you or not. But stuff happens. That sort of backs it up.
I'm not entirely sure I fall for all that, but actually, Preston Dennett done a show quite recently. It was on the same show that I appear on, as a co-host sometimes. And he was saying, I think he may have a point, I don't know, there's no real evidence for it, that if you are investigating this and you invest a lot of time into investigating this, then there's every chance that they may find you.
Yeah.
I'm not, as I said, I'm not entirely convinced, because I know an awful lot of people who've been in this field for decades and they've never had any type of experience whatsoever. I mean, you can name people like Stanton Friedman, Jan Aldrich, John Greenwood, Barry Greenwood. You could name a whole host of people, Kevin Dandle, that have never had anything like that, and they've been doing it decades. So
I think it also comes down to you if you've got some sort of brain formation. We have outer body. If you ever had an outer body, you're more likely to come in contact, I think. So somehow something is open in your brain when you have outer contact, when you're aware of it happening. But Preston Dennett, he sort of upset me by showing up on the third phase of the moon and being mates and showing up and having party with them. And that sort of upset me quite a bit.
Never a good move with those guys.
No. They say they changed, but they haven't. So that's the problem. They are funny, though. I don't hate them. Like I said, I don't hate anyone in this field. But people say I do. Generally, if I debunk things, it's because I need to bring the correct information out. So if someone's done a really bad debunk on stuff, even Mick West is included in that, I will have my say on it. I have outed Mick West's star formation that he was talking about. One is clearly a reflection in the lens, and mirrors also back over. It's like a double reflection. And if you look at his star chart, the star's way too small to be the star that he's referring to. So I don't agree with Mick West all the time. And he totally ignores me when I bring that up. And that's the way it goes, And if I also debunk other people out there that are meant to be debunkers, like Goofon, and he makes mistakes, I will try and bring more information to people and corrections. It's not about hating. So he did one with the Dr. Lear footage, and as you know, we've been over that a few times now. And I've explained how it works with the internal lens reflection artifact. where the guy was actually hoaxing it, and he had a wobbly lens on it. And you know, if you don't get pure straight optics, you get all sorts of crazy reflections and stuff that can look like UFOs inside the camera. But anyway, we're not going to talk about me. We're going to talk about you and the topics you're going to bring to us here today, and do a catch-up. But yes, it's good to have you back on, even if you show up once in a blue moon to do another chat. That'd be great. Don't see why
we can't do it again.
Jesus, that desktop is stressing me out. What is that? It's all my stuff I use, you know. Okay,
it's a bit cluttered.
Yeah, but it's quite easy to unclutter it, you know. Like you can just do this, you know, right click. If it will come up. For some reason, it's not going to come up. Alright. And you can go untick show desktop icons, and you got a nice clean desktop, you see. So,
yeah, that's a cool feature. It does look better, actually, I have to say.
Yeah, but I can't access my tools, but of course we're just going to talk about things here anyway. And I think I was meant to open a folder. Let me just do that for a picture that you've got. So we'll see how many people join us. We had 1 or 2 pop up there before. And apparently, this is about the best time they reckon that most of my followers are on. 8 o'clock to midday. And should be right for USA and pretty late for UK though. So we had a picture here you wanted us to look at, but you want to talk about that some other time, don't you?
Well, yeah, we'll leave that for a little bit later if you don't mind.
Looks like I saved it in the wrong place. Let me see. Oh, I'll just resave. Oh, there it is. Should be in that one. Let me just see if I got the right folder. Is that the one? Yeah, that looks like the one. Let me just see if it opens up. Yep. Seems to ring a bell. I think I've seen it before, but yeah, we'll let you talk about it, and we'll go from there. So yeah, where do you want to start? It's all over to you.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know. I think while you were sleeping, there's been a new development, and the UFO community kind of celebrating at the moment because the UAP Taskforce is an upgrade. It's a facelift. Yeah. Okay. So they've brought all these new bills in and mandates, and yeah, they're gonna build it into a well-staffed, well-financed project. They're going to rename it. The old task force is going to be phased out. It's going to be that'll be gone, and I don't know what they're going to call it. I have no idea, but it's going to be more on the lines of a Project Blue Book than a task force, which was 2 men, 1 man and its dog, really, wasn't it? It didn't have finances.
What's it really matter if it's what it's called?
But this is the thing. I've been through all the minutiae in it, and there's not a single thing about public transparency. Nothing at all.
That's always been the problem. I think we're going to have to bring disclosure. The people out there have to bring it. But you need to. We need to.
There's other initiatives like the Galileo project now, which didn't exist when we last spoke.
Maybe you can explain it to people. The Galileo problem. Anyone that's
this is a good thing because I'm not really sure that they know exactly what they're doing yet either. But I mean, they're talking about buying up these 1 meter telescopes at like £500,000 a go, off the shelf jobs, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know he got like he got £2 million funding straight off the bat off one guy, and there's millions of other pounds and dollars come in from other sources as well.
Right.
But you're not gonna, say you've got £10 million, that's only going to get you 20 of those telescopes, isn't it? Now how they're going to position them, and I really don't know.
Well, the scientists there seem to know what he was talking about. Someone did an interview
Absolutely,
with him.
Yeah.
I can't remember who did the interview with him now. Who was it that did the interview?
Avi Loeb?
No, George Knapp, I think it was. Not George. Yeah, it's George Knapp, yeah. It was Knapp that was doing an interview with him, wasn't it?
Okay, could well have been Knapp that was. Yeah, he's done a few interviews. He's done about. Whoa, he must have done 20 over the last.
Or it's Mick West. I can't remember now. Mick West has been getting a few interviews of people.
Yes, he was on with Mick as well. Yeah,
he did a good one with Mick West. Yeah,
it was quite interesting to see him on with Mick, because Mick was a little bit quiet.
Yeah, it was, wasn't he?
He wasn't the intellectual superior there at all, was he?
No.
He was kind of. I just felt he was kind of out of his comfort zone with Avi.
Yeah. A lot of people said that.
That was kind of cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. He sort of buffed out the mathematics in his head, didn't he? It was quite interesting to see how he was working it out, and talked about how you can see a really small object if you got a big enough aperture and all that sort of stuff. And it was really good to listen to that. Well, I find it really interesting.
There's also been a little change in Avi Loeb's attitude, because when he was first asked about ufology, this is going back a while now, someone asked him what did he think of it, is it real, is anything to it, and he says, nah, the problem I have is all these mobile phones out there, with high resolution capture devices, and nobody's got a single clear photo. So, I understand that kind of thing. But now he's come to realise that kind of capture device just isn't good enough.
No, it's not. So it's all to do with the lens and optics, really.
Yeah, exactly. It hasn't got a lens. A mobile phone, it doesn't have a lens. It's got no optics. Every time you zoom in with a mobile phone, it's a digital zoom. And I know this is common sense, but you're losing detail. Every time you zoom in, you're getting more noise, more and more noise all the time. So say there's something in the sky and it's far away. The temptation is to zoom in. Don't do it. You're better off just taking a picture. It'll only look like a dot.
Yeah, I've tried to teach it over the years to people. Don't use digital zoom. It's just a waste of time. You might film it as a little dot in the sky, and then download it into your PC and use the editor to zoom in that way, because it's doing exactly the same thing. I think future phones will have some built-in optics, even if it's 1 to 3 times zoom. It will be a lot better. I think it'll just get better as the technology gets better. They're up to 120 megapixel CMOS scanners now. So that might start showing up on phones by the sounds of it. 120 megapixels, that's a lot of dots. And a lot of memory as well to store. So it's fascinating what's going to come up in the future. I think eventually, if people learn to use the apps to rule out planes and satellites and all that passing overhead, we could get some credible evidence finally. But there's so much noise out there. Any balloons, birds, and all that, and jets, of course, and which they call them Tic Tacs mostly, because you can't see the wings because it blends in, or it's just too far away. We've got to educate the UFO community to be better sky watchers, and then we will progress and we'll get our own disclosure without the government. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure even with the best cameras or even the telescopes, unless you've got some sort of radar detection system implemented into that to be able to detect something coming into the atmosphere and aiming your telescope up there. I don't think you're going to capture these triangles or classic UFOs, right? Because they move so damn fast. We're talking about hypersonic speeds here. And, you know, they can come from space and zoom straight down to the top of your house and stop on a dime, right? And do that within 1 second. You're not going to catch that on film. And then they can abduct you within a few seconds and then shoot off into space again and do whatever they want.
It's not just that, you know, it's not just that. ATIP came to the conclusion that these things had kind of what they called low observability. Now, the task force has called it signature management. What that basically means, they've got a kind of a way of avoiding capture, you know, not just on film, but with other sensors as well, like radar and God knows what other sensors they have out there now. But we've got stuff that can pick them up on the electromagnetic spectrum, stuff like that.
Well, all devices do emit radio waves of some sort, so they can probably detect that are being filmed. Yeah.
But what Louise was saying, they had good, well, it wasn't good gun camera footage. It should have come out perfect, but it was coming out blurred, and they couldn't understand why. And even the radar wasn't picking it up properly. It appeared to be moving in one direction, but it wasn't actually. It was strange. Yeah, task force called it signature management.
Yeah, I think UFOs tend to come out when we are at nighttime more than daytime anyway. I think maybe
sightings peak around 2 to 4 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. You know, when they expect people to be asleep or whatever. It makes sense. If you're going to study plant life and stuff, you might do it at night time and just have high-powered lights that only shine where you're looking and then don't blast out. Their light system's slightly different than the light we use. I think they use positive light, we use negative light, because there's always a symmetry in particles, right? So it's still a photon, but for us to see it, we don't see it, and our equipment don't see it. So they can actually illuminate a house and a room and pass through the walls, and the neighbours around wouldn't see anything happening because that light is different. But proving it is another thing, you know. Somehow we got to outsmart the aliens to be able to catch them on film, and that's always been the difficult part, you know. Did you hear my story that happened only about 3-4 weeks ago now? I set up my phone with this audio detector, and it turns on the screen when I talk to it, because I wanted to get OK Google to work hands-free, and it doesn't work when the screen turns off. So I got this program that turns on the screen when it detects sounds, so I can say screen on and then say OK Google, and then ask it what the time is without having to get up and look at the clock when you're comfy in bed, right? Or ask what the temperature is when you're going to get out of bed. But so I had this going, and I had the option to record any of the sounds, and so I put it into this dump loop where it stores every time it picks up the sound. It records 5 minutes, and well, this night 4 weeks ago, there was this great big huge sliding sound and a crash sound. It was like 4 a.m. And I thought, what the hell is going on? Is it an earthquake going? Because it sounded like that. And I thought, could it be a cat on the roof? And I thought, well, if it is, it's going to be sliding off the roof and falling down. So I got up and had a look around the house, and the dog, and everybody's dead to the world. And I thought, how the hell could they sleep through all that noise? And so I thought, oh, right, I got that audio thing going. It would be captured on there. And I said, I'll look at that tomorrow and play it back. And I went back to bed and went to sleep because there was no prowler. Nothing was falling down. Nothing was out of place. So the next morning comes and I look at the phone where it stores on the SD card. And that whole night's recordings had vanished.
Oh,
unbelievable. It had the day before recordings and the day after, but that whole day was missing. And I thought, what the hell? I got no evidence. how did that happen? And I thought, well, maybe that sound was aliens coming back, because, you know, as I know, I had a visitation in January 2020, which was a really strange visitation. Didn't match any other people's sort of stories of being lifted out windows or roof. Mine was totally different, and that's why I sort of believed that something actually went down, because things that happened after, and of course the ringing in the ear. So now I hear this ringing in the ear, I think, something's going to happen today. And maybe some stuff is happening and I just don't realise it. So yeah, but I'm trying to capture evidence, as you know, but I've got limited dollars to buy the gear. And yeah, I'm still yet to try a Faraday cage around stuff, you know. So to me, it looks to me somehow they managed to get the phone to lock up. You know how sometimes the phone can lock up when you run an app and it gets IO bound or something on the phone. And I think somehow they managed to lock up the phone so it wasn't recording before they showed up. And that was the strangest thing. And I should have actually recorded the screen snapshot, but because the phone I use as my camera, I wasn't able to record what I was looking at on the phone. And I thought, well, I could take some screen snapshots or try and record the screen, but I don't know how to on this new phone. You know, I'm a PC technician and all that, but as you know, it takes a long time to learn new devices all the time and all the features and stuff. So I thought, oh, well, people will still believe me if I tell the story. Well, the people out there that trust me anyway will believe the story. And so, yeah, that's another strange experience I had. And as you know, I've had paranormal events of things jumping on the bed and stuff.
Yeah, but there's nothing like evidence. But there's one thing the skeptics. Yeah, there's one thing the skeptics don't really take into account, that these guys might not like having a picture taken, you know, and they've got the technology to avoid it happening as well.
Yeah.
But we've got more sensors all the time, so I don't know if that's a cause for optimism or not. Yeah.
Well, I keep looking up to the sky when I take the dog out for a walk. I don't know about if you do that, but I always do. And I look at the stars and think, is it a UFO or is it a star? But sometimes you can look up in the sky and you can see the stars moving a wee bit, and that's due to atmospherics, because it bends the light.
Yeah, of course.
I've talked about that before. Talking about interference patterns, and it can actually move quite a distance. It can move a few inches in the sky, and if it's going through ice crystals, is the worst for that. Yeah, and I thought, well, I could film it, but it probably won't come out on the stupid smartphone because they've got pretty bad camera tech on it. But we need one of those. I need one of those night vision cameras, but some of us are not rich channels, so we can't go out and just buy $1,500 color night vision like Tyler Cotner and Third Phase of the Moon can. But one day maybe. One day, if everybody had that sort of technology, we might be able to catch them, because it's outside our normal thing. But the problem is, when you look at those fancy cameras, they're still not terribly great. The frame rate's only 60 frames per second, and you really need something to be able to go up to at least 1,000, if not 8,000 frames a second to be able to capture these things moving so fast. That would fill up the memory really, really quickly. But I think we're on the edge of these new SD cards, which are like laptop-sized hard drives that can store 100 terabytes of information. So I think in the future it's not going to be a problem, but eventually the government, if there's truth in the aliens and UFOs, and they're going to have to admit it sooner or later, because the technology is going to be there, public domain, that's going to prove it. And it might be these guys that you're talking about with the Galileo project, and also UFO Hub, is it? Might have
UFO
that sort of technology.
Yeah. That's still under development. I mean, people who have like bought the equipment have had nightmares setting it up, you know, and even technical people have said, you know, it scared the hell out of me. So I don't know if that's something they can fix in the future, but you'd also have to give them a few years, you know. This Galileo project now is only just getting off the ground, so give them 5 years and see what they've got in 5 years. Don't expect results tomorrow or even next month or even maybe next year. Maybe, but they'll get lucky, but give them a few years.
So since we last talked, have you had any strange experiences?
None whatsoever. No, I haven't. I've heard.
Yeah, I think it's gone a wee bit quiet. For some reason. Maybe because I've lost contact with some key people like Earl Grey, and when you got real investigators with boots on ground that's sort of chatting with you, I think you tend to get spied on. And they watch what's being said and stuff, and maybe the Men in Black is not so far-fetched, because we had some strange stuff happen. But yeah, a amount of people that I talked to say they got evidence, but the hard drive failed. And I said, well, didn't you keep it on 3 hard drives, you know? You never keep it.
How many times have we heard this now? The batteries went dead. Yeah, they couldn't get the lens cap off. They took the photo, but nothing came out. I mean, you've heard these stories so many times now. Not everyone can be lying. No, you know, there's got to be something to this. It's a technology.
Yeah,
it's a stealth. I mean, we're working on stealth, so it's not particularly far-fetched.
No, and of course we don't know what back doors are on these things as well. So, if I got the Men in Black or the Black Ops banging on the roof at night time, they probably can switch a button on my phone and actually stop the software running. You know, that's really possible. So why would they be coming to me? Maybe they're trying to stop me talking about some sort of event that happened. Because I do have people come and tell me stories in private that they don't want to tell publicly, right? So, like I said, I got this guy in Australia. I've been trying to get him to come back on and talk about it, but he reckons his and his girlfriend were filming this UFO coming towards their house in Australia. I think it's in a remote area. And it hovered over their house, and he said it come down and merged with the house. And how many times have we heard this with the UFO merging? And he said there was this 8-foot alien. I'm not sure if he said it was a grey alien, but he said it had like a lampshade sphinx type headdress on, like Egyptian. And his mum, when he told his mum about it, her mum said, yeah, I've seen those aliens visit me too. So that obviously it might be a family connection there of these aliens coming back. But he said it was funny, as the UFO merged with the house seemed to be like it was in Egypt, and the bench turned into this stone block. So I said, oh, can you come on live and actually tell us that you were filming this? He said, yeah, I got it all on handy cam and put it on the hard drive, and we watched it back the next day, and it's all there. And I said, well, we need to see that then. He said, no, it's on a hard drive that's died, and it won't read now. He said it's the information still might be on there. It might be able to be retrieved from experts having a look at it. I said, well, maybe it's worth doing, because if you got that kind of footage, it's kind of smoking gun footage where these aliens could project, I don't know, maybe the Egyptians, maybe that's the Egyptian connection. I said, it's funny you should say that. I think Egypt, if you go straight through the earth, doesn't it come out in Australia? On the globe?
I believe so. I've seen that before, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought, well, maybe you're in a spot where it's opposite the Great Pyramids. So, it sort of things popped in my head, and it was late in the morning. So I thought, yeah, look, I'm not really listening, but I did play a clip off what we were recording. I was doing like a test run of my setup, right? And I do play it on a live stream, probably 5 or 7 back now, but it's on there. Him explain that, but I want him to come back and explain it in proper detail. But his girlfriend saw it, so I wasn't going to dismiss it, even though it was a crazy story, because I thought, well, maybe we can, if he's got another witness and another's seen it as well, maybe there's more to it. So it could be they're projecting this image into their head. He said it was just like the Egyptian headdresses that you saw on the walls and the pyramids and stuff. And I thought, well, that's quite interesting, because the pyramids were always suspect whether they were built by man or a race of people that died off from maybe a coronavirus or whatever, or maybe got attacked by war.
Yeah, well, there's clear evidence that, the pyramids were built with stone hammers, so I don't think any.
I'm not saying that it wasn't some sort of humanoid outside Earth. It may have been like a race of people that sort of become advanced in technology.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And maybe they found. Just say that you're humans that found a pyramid, and then you started bucking around with things, and suddenly a portal opened and you entered into it, and you found that you're in another universe, but on planet Earth still. And then the doorway closes and you got no way to get back, so you got to think, I've got to build this pyramid on this side of the wall to try and get that portal open again, so I can go back to my own planet. It's a bit like Stargatiness, but maybe that could be it. Maybe they were around 100,000 years ago, and then for some reason abandoned the planet. Maybe the climate changed, or maybe there was a disease and they were too scared, so they sort of hopped back into the portal to go to somewhere else. And maybe they'll come back again. And then, of course, those buildings got occupied by other human races. And maybe they just stripped it bare. It might have had like machinery in there that was able to open up the portal. And they may have just stripped it bare and destroyed a functional machine, the Great Pyramid. So there's all this. I should be like a movie director or script writer. I could write some really fantastic movies from all the stories I heard out there on UFOs. But it's fascinating stuff. I love this. Even if you could tie in sci-fi into it, so nothing beats a really good sci-fi movie. It's got a script and all that, right? But I don't know if you've heard any great stories yourself. Maybe you can't even talk about any, I don't know, but if more people come to us.
What do you mean? You mean with people coming to me with their stuff?
With experiences and stuff.
Oh God, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I think there's one that's been well. Excuse me. Where did that come from? Yeah, within the last week, this is the first time this has ever kind of happened to me. There's a guy come to me. He's quite high ranked Air Force personnel, retired, and he's been following me for some time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all he's given me for now, once he'd established that he'd found the right person, all he would tell me for now was a brief summary of the case. The case involves a large triangle that was seen over England and UK.
Right.
So now I know how this guy found me now. So the first thing I needed to do was check to see if he was who he said he was. Of course, checking his Facebook profile, that wasn't enough because I needed more. So I went on Military Finder and I've checked out his record, and Although what he told me about himself impressed me when I actually found his record. Not only did he check out, but there was stuff that he hadn't told me about himself as well, you know. So now he says, right, give me some time. I'll bring you all the information and I'll give you contacts to the witnesses. So it's not his own case. He said, just call me messenger. Now, if you'll be kind and give me some time to do the work for you, and then I can pass it on to you. So I'm like all excited now, aren't I? You know, I've checked him out on everything, and I'm just waiting for him to get. But of course, we last spoke on Wednesday, so there's no way I'm gonna start rushing the guy. But yeah, we'll see what comes of that. Do you know? But I've got, you know, when you get a gut feeling there's something quite big coming. I've just got that feeling, you know, that this could be the best one I've ever worked on. But of course, like with experiences, I was on with one quite recently. His name is Michael Cameron, and oh geez, I mean the life the hell he's had through his life with basically aliens is it was quite upsetting to listen to, you know.
Yeah.
Poor lad, he broke down on the show. It's the first time he's actually come out publicly. He's currently, he's making a transcript of all the experiences, and it's one after the other. Kind of involves like multiple species.
Yeah.
It's and a lot of supernatural kind of stuff that thrown in as well.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm in the field too. It doesn't scare me anymore, but I have been scared. I have got attacked by a paranormal thing. Like I said, and the dog saw it, and it sort of disappeared into this cloud. But yeah, that was crazy.
Well, Paul, this guy's come to terms with it, but it's had one hell of an effect on his life, you know.
Yeah.
He still doesn't sleep. He still won't go to bed. He still won't sleep without the lights on.
Right. Yeah, I can understand that. Normally, sometimes I do that. I leave the light on after an event like that, seeing if something's going to happen, but mostly because it's a bit hard to sleep again, isn't it? So, but yeah, I sort of got used to it over the years now. I think they sort of left me alone a wee bit, and they realised they can't get to me. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, it's an interesting field, and even though I debunk, I am a truther and actually have my own experiences, and that's the reason I'm here, is to try and find answers and try and look at new science theories and science to maybe explain it, because they might call it fringe science or people being nutters, but there's also science to that. If it's creating people to see visions and things, then there's got to be science behind it, and maybe it may be not even aliens, but it might be some sort of black ops technology where they can beam in and do an experiments on you to see how you react and all that sort of stuff. Why they would do that, I don't know. But yeah, there might be just some sickos out there that got high technology left over from World War II days. You know, there's sort of, you know, what they used to do back then in World War II. They don't care about torturing people and stuff, you know, those type of people. So you just can't rule out anything really nowadays. You just got to have an open mind and just try and follow the facts that you can find. And the more people that have similar experiences, and then you can start to find connections. Like I was working on my research episode on the journey into the fourth dimension, right? And I started looking up various data sets. One was impact craters from asteroids over the millions of years. And oddly enough, where you get the most UFO sightings and paranormal has the most impact craters regions, a bit like Skinwalker Ranch. So there may be something in that where electromagnetic waves from the iron cores from the meteorite that's got bedded underground, a mile or whatever from the impact, maybe influence the people living above on the surface, so they're seeing visions that may not even be there, but or maybe it opens up a portal to another universe, and they slip in and out, because the Skinwalker sounds like something that would come from another universe, where it comes into ours, grabs something to eat, and then pops back in again. And which just sounds like a Bigfoot as well. Everything seems to be connected into that sort of theory about portals, and maybe our universe is not just a all physical thing, but there may be multiple universes connected by
but listen, you have to take this into account. There's a physical aspect to UFOs.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's all physical.
You only have to look at Ted Phillips's 4,000 cases of trace landings.
Yeah,
trace evidence landings, I should say. These things are real. They leave a mess on the ground where they've been. They leave burnt out areas. Definitely. They leave landing marks. They leave depressions in the ground. They change the constitution of the soil. The soil generally becomes hydrophobic and it will grow. So you can't forget, it's not like some spooky ghost type phenomena.
No, I'm not saying this. Really, I'm saying they're physical, but they're just popping in from one universe into ours and then popping out again. It's like the Predator movie where they come here to hunt. Maybe the same with the Bigfoots.
But if that was the case, Paul, tell me why they seem to be having, why they had a vested interest in this planet. That to me suggests a more permanent.
Well, if it's a hunting ground and we're destroying their habitat, they're going to get upset because they won't have a hunting ground. You see, it might be like when you go on holiday to Gold Coast, and if someone comes and wrecks it all for you, you don't want to go there again. It might be just something as simple as that, right? That they may treat their planet and wildlife population a lot different than what we treat it. We just exploit it and over fish and all that sort of business, right? But definitely it's a physical thing and there's something happening and it's yet to sort of be explained. But I don't think our science is up there yet. Well, maybe it is. Maybe the government and the scientists have been given the information, but under non-disclosures and all that sort of stuff, so that we haven't got the information yet, which is a damn shame, because a lot of the that kind of advanced technology would really help man. But until we stop fighting and creating wars and hostages and blowing up innocent people, I don't think they want us to have that kind of technology anyway. We've got to learn to be better beings against each other, help each other out, understand empathy, sympathy, and all that sort of stuff, We've
got a lot to learn then, haven't we? Human nature is human nature. We are what we are.
So
I can't actually see that changing unless there's intervention, and maybe that's just what they're doing. Maybe abductions are intervention. Maybe it is some kind of engineering program, genetic engineering program. To benefit us, but I'm not seeing any signs of improvement. Are you?
No. But I feel I've improved. I'm always improving the way I look at things and how I treated people, and think, damn, I wish I did that differently. And we can only just look inside ourselves and improve ourselves. But if everybody did that, then the world would be better. We make mistakes. We're humans. That's why we're humans. It's arrogant to believe that we're the only people alive in this whole universe of billion stars or something, and of course now they know that every star has a solar system of 2 or more planets. They know that now. So you're talking about a lot more planets out there than stars, and there's got to be other life out there, right?
This is what kind of makes me laugh, kind of roll my eyes and shake my head, because I just can't, I mean, it's generally accepted now that the universe is teeming with life. Mainstream science is telling us that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yet no one can possibly accept that one of these species or multiple species has actually found a way of getting here. Nobody can accept that.
No.
That's impossible. The life's teeming in the universe. Yeah, that's fine. They're not coming here. No way. Not happening.
Well, you got to remember, we're always constantly moving in space, though. Everything's relative, right? So we're moving on a spiral arm at 500,000 miles per hour. And we're spinning around on a globe at 1,000 miles per hour. And we're spinning around the sun at 67,000 miles per hour. So we're spinning all over the place. And you know how hard it is for us to get out into space. But it doesn't mean that the aliens haven't been around for billions of years and had a chance to travel from solar system to solar system or star system to star system and progress outwards. Looking for mapping the universe, maybe as scientists themselves, but maybe to map resources and save themselves, you know, and to try and understand the universe themselves, what the universe is. They may not even know, like we don't. So, but they may have been around a lot longer than us. But we may be also, the other theory is, we may be the first life species, intelligent species in the whole universe. Maybe some of the other ones have come recently since, but me, I quite think that's kind of stupid. I think maybe...
I've just replied to Michael King here. 100 billion stars in each galaxy, roughly, and around 100 billion galaxies in the observable universe. And the key word there is observable universe.
Yeah.
God knows what's beyond our ability to observe. It's well, as I said, mind-boggling.
Yes.
It really is.
Yes. Fascinating stuff, isn't
All right.
it?
I just
and that's
close
why
the
we're
door
in
here, mate. Storming again. Paul?
Okay.
You hear me?
Okay. Yeah,
Dog's
I can.
storming again.
Yeah, the dog is annoying them. This dog likes to open doors in the house. Yeah, so anybody out there, do say hi down inside chat. Any questions you want to ask us, go ahead. Robert's probably got better eyes than I have to read the side chat there, because I have to zoom in. But yeah, we haven't even covered the topics that you're going to talk about today. I sort of misled you, led you away into other stuff.
That's okay. I suppose that drone over Tucson, or they call it a drone, I don't know. I suppose that's worth bringing up, isn't it?
Do you want to talk about it before playing the video, or...?
Well, yeah, of course, talk a little bit about it. It was a border patrol, it was, Tucson Border Patrol. And they had an Army Reserve helicopter, or drug squad, drug squad it would have been, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, this drone came out of nowhere. It's orbiting the helicopter. It stops and it hovers right underneath them, and that's quite disconcerting if you're a pilot, because you're in no position to avoid it at all then, are you? You know? They tried to shake it off, it wasn't happening. Then it was orbiting again. Then it hung there right over the rotor blades and stayed there for quite some time. Oh, yeah. And the thing is, if this was actually a drone, it didn't have some battery life. And they came to the conclusion as well that for the precision movements it was making, if it was a drone, I'm really questioning that it had to be controlled by satellite.
This is only a few meters wide, was it? Not a big tic-tac.
No. This is it. That's the trouble. They couldn't establish the size. And in that shot, the whole transcript, Paul, is like nearly 2 hours long. Now, obviously, we can't play that for practical reasons, but I do recommend you can find it easily on the internet. And although there's a bit of dead air time in there, I would recommend, if you're really interested in it, to go and listen to the whole thing. And all
so the whole transcript is 2 hours long with the pilots talking about this.
It's a bit less than 2 hours long, but this just shows how long the flaming helicopter was running out of fuel before the drone was going anywhere.
Yeah, that's the point. I never even looked up how long
when
helicopters
it shot off, the pilots made a reference to it. Coming from, God, doesn't matter, but what they were doing, they were talking about the Tic-Tac incident.
Right. How long can a helicopter...
It could. They ruled out it was any chance of being a commercial drone.
Stay in the sky.
Oh, I don't know. It'll be longer than a couple of hours, but not much. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
What's it say here? Okay, please helicopter stay in the air. Okay, that'll be a good one. Because they're standard size helicopter. Does it say 3 hours here, does it? I didn't actually see it.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Where does it say 3 hours? Between 2 and 3 hours.
Between 2 and 3 hours. That's with a modified fuel system.
Yeah, I didn't realise they could stay up that long. Amazing. And a drone. Let's see, what's the longest drone? I should have kept it open. How long can a drone fly on batteries? Of course, the battery technology is getting better all the time. What's it say? 20 minutes?
Exactly.
Have they got drones that run off fuel though?
Oh yeah, that's going to be a bit longer.
Drones run off fuel.
If you listen to the full, while you're doing that, let me just say, if you listen to the full transcript between the tower and the helicopter pilot, at one stage, the tower actually says, "I'm familiar with military drones, and they should not be able to stay up that long." He also mentioned that the performance characteristics were not.
Okay, they're talking about hydrogen fuel cells here for military drones. Can stay up for 8 hours. 8 hours.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. But is that hypothetical or is that a reality now?
Unmanned aerial vehicles are typically used by military operations where manned flights would be too risky or difficult. So that means that maybe if that was flying by some sort of military person around a helicopter, they should be sacked. Hydrogen fuel cells can increase UAV time to approximately 8 hours. So that's where they use like a little fuel, a cylinder of hydrogen, and they mix it in with oxygen cylinder to produce power, and the byproduct is water. So that's very possible, 8 hours. So it can outlast a helicopter. So yeah, we can't really rule out it being a military drone with some sort of guy that's on acid or something terrorizing them. So yeah, still doesn't rule out aliens, of course, but
no, they're both on the table.
And this has always been the problem in our field. Hey, we got some person joining us. Alex, how's it going? Let's have a look at the comments here. Good to see the dynamic duo is back. Even if it's just for a rare occasion. Yeah, I think you do your own show, don't you now, Robert, on Facebook?
Oh, I'm doing every Wednesday at the moment, but this week I've got Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
But
would you like to post a link there for people to go and join your Facebook while you're on the show?
Oh, yeah, that's really kind of you, Paul. I could actually, yes.
Yeah. I'm meant to be on a radio show. I'm not sure if I told you, but they still haven't put it out. It's
thought you'd
probably, it
been
was
on.
meant to be.
I thought you'd been on, and you're doing.
I
just
have.
what you
I
do.
did it. I did it 3 weeks ago, and they still haven't put it out on radio, from what I can see. She said she
Oh,
would send me.
yeah,
She would send me the blog
yeah,
post once they start promoting it. But she
yeah.
said they
That's
got
not
fires over
unusual.
there. Yeah, they got fires and power outages and stuff. I'm not sure if that's still going on or not, because I'm not really keeping up with all the news at the moment. But yeah, that's fair enough. Maybe it'll be this week. I'll probably catch up with her again, see where she's got to go. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'll post the link around when it goes on air. But I actually do talk a wee bit like we've just talked about. I talked about the best UFO cases that I think, and some of the fraud stuff that's happening, and secure team, of course, coming back, and all the noise and pollution that we have to deal with in this community when we're trying to take this very seriously, and people are just using it as entertainment to make money from. Really just pisses off us legit people. But yeah, there's a lot of infighting in ufology, and it's not about hating people. It's just want everybody to be on the same page, and not everybody can have the same skill levels, but to give all our skills combined. Even if some people go out there and film the stuff, the rest of us can analyze the stuff for them, because we got the skills and the tools to do it, and we can then rule out junk versus actual possible alien craft or off-world vehicles. But yeah, like I said, I think that these hypersonic craft move so fast, you're not going to catch it on camera, even on the best cameras at the moment. But who knows, this Galileo project may just be the answer. But like you said, it might take another 5 years.
I tell you what did. Well, Paul, I've got to say, this proper pissed me off with the Galileo project when they took on Seth Shostak.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have let him near the damn thing for all the debunking he's done, and sneering and sniggering and sarcastic comments that he's made down the years. Now he does a 180-degree turn, and he wants to come on board. He wants a piece of the pie. Whoa, what an effing cheek.
Yeah.
I'd have sacked the bastard. Honest to God, I would. But apparently, according to Avi Loeb, he's only in advisory role. So I don't know whatever that means. I wouldn't be listening to him. Can't to him, they are aliens.
But then again, we got to accept people like Heineck out there, where they probably don't believe at first, and they get hired by the government to debunk, and then they start to see a different side of things and think, hang on, there's more going on here, and I'm not going to debunk it anymore. I want to investigate it and find out the truth myself now.
But it's a bit late in the play to be changing your mind when you've spent decades of trying to humiliate people who had the audacity to believe that UFOs could possibly be aliens visiting this planet.
I think the problem we've got is we don't know. Yeah, and the problem is we don't know who's actually hired by the government or being protected by the government to create the disinformation in the first place. And that's the problem with Lou and all the other ones out there. Even though I don't think they are hired by the government, I can't be 100% sure still. But we'll see in the next 5 years, like you say, how these other guys pan out. But I'm pretty sure they've probably got another TV show on the works at the moment, probably. And maybe they got some more interesting footage.
There's, I'll tell you what they've got planned. I know this anyway. There's going to be a documentary with James Fox.
Right.
Actually, but that's planned. That could be 2023, 24. But I'll tell you what's coming out in 22. James Fox, the Virginia incident.
What was that again?
UFO crash on aliens in Brazil, 1996. Now that is a fantastic incident, and it's one that I believe is real, and I don't believe in I'm a pretty skeptical guy. I believe that
Right.
happened. Yeah, and apparently he's got some startling new stuff about that event, you know, that hasn't
Right.
seen the light of day as yet. So I'm looking forward to that more than I am his last film, The Phenomena,
Right.
because I thought,
Yeah.
although that was good, I didn't think it was directed at me. It was kind of directed at somebody who was maybe on the fence about the subject, and
Right.
they could have watched that and thought, wow. But for me, there was nothing that new there, you know?
Right.
Even the bonus material didn't have anything new in it. So I was
No.
disappointed in that. But this is a
Yeah.
specialist type documentary. It's looking at, it's isolating one particular event,
Yeah.
and it's coming out next year. Most of the work is done. There's still a
Yeah.
little bit of filming going on. I think it's been held back a little bit by COVID, like everything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward.
I just watched a thing last night, a new series of the Alaska Triangle, right? And I was actually talking before about impact craters, and part of it was actually seeing how all these triangles, like Bermuda Triangle, actually mapped all these impact craters, and it was quite interesting to see where the locations were, and it sort of actually hinted that a lot of these locations where they're getting compass craziness is where the impacts were, including the South Atlantic anomaly. So if you want to go and watch that part 1 episode, I have got it up on the channel. It's like a live investigation if you like to see how we investigate things and put it all together, and then we see the links and things. More data collection, the better. That's part of doing the research in the ufology side of things. But yeah, there's a thing called the Dark Pyramid. Have you heard about the Dark Pyramid? And it's right up in
No,
Alaska. Yeah, it's up in the Alaska Triangle. Oddly enough, there's no impact
you know what?
craters.
Alaska's an odd place.
Yeah, there's no. What's strange though, if you look on all the data, no one's actually met many comet asteroid impacts going back millions of years there. But if you have a look at the shape of part of the landmass there, it looks like an edge of where the crater, a big huge crater, happened. So I think there's some missing data there, which then would bring more attention to the Alaska Triangle being actually related to some strange magnetic anomalies happening there. But and it also would explain the Dark Pyramid. So the Dark Pyramid is meant to be this underground pyramid that's they discovered by pure accident, and it's all made of pure black stone, not like sandstone in Egypt. And as we know, that meteorites have this black type stone inside them. I'm just wondering if someone actually a huge asteroid, probably. Really big. Yeah, we're talking about many miles across, impacted there with a big chunk of this rock that got carved into this pyramid. Now, some sort of remote reading, which I don't really believe too much in, apparently had pinned this location as well after the fact. They got the remote reader to give the coordinates there, and it read out, talked about some alien that's in control there and working with the US Army or Black Ops or whatever. And apparently this pyramid absorbs energy from the Earth's core and transmits it into the ionosphere or above it at least, where UFOs can hover and charge their batteries, so to speak. So that's the story anyway to this so-called Black Pyramid, and guess who's involved in it? Linda Moulton Howe.
No.
Yeah, but it's quite a good episode.
No.
It's quite a good episode. So she only had one guy leak to her, and now there's this other guy come forward, but it could be disinformation again.
Yeah.
Where he claimed he was looking at military maps, and this area in Alaska was blacked out, saying no data. And when he started researching it, he had like Men in Black show up in the library and tell him no go and to leave. I think it was some sort of military library or something, but and if you go and look on Google Earth, there's only one set of data for the location there where it's meant to be. So I might talk about that in a live stream coming up tomorrow or the next day, and I'll go over that whole episode. But yeah, go and check out the Alaska Triangle Season 2, Episode 1. You quite enjoy it, even if you just like the sci-fi story aspect to it all.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
But for tonight, Paul, I'll have to get off about 2ish. So do you want to go quickly through that transcript between the tower and the helicopter?
Right. I didn't know you had a time limit, but yeah.
Yeah, I have. There's actually somebody staying here tonight, and they're actually waiting for me to. I was thinking about
Let's go to this mystery drone buzzing helicopter again.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so if you can play that, please.
Quarter line, this is Gerard. How may I help you? Hey, this is Chris at TPD. How are you? I'm doing good. Was that you up there helping us out? Well, yeah, I was on the desk doing all the paperwork, but my coworker Miguel was the one helping you guys out on frequency. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I appreciate your guys' help on that. I was really wanting to get our hands on that thing, but I think it's quite sophisticated.
Yeah, well, I feel like, I wasted you guys' time going out there, but, you know.
Yeah. We had a 30-knot headwind out there, too, and that thing was still maintaining freaking 75 knots, and so it was super sophisticated. I'll give it that, and the duration that thing had and the abilities it had, pretty sophisticated. What are the chances we can get a tape of that from you guys? Is that possible?
Yeah, you probably have to call management tomorrow during normal business hours.
Okay.
And they can they got to compile the audio and the visual portion, but we definitely have it. We can give it to you.
Okay.
The proper credentials are shared and everything.
Right. Just call the same number and reference the event from tonight.
Yeah, they'll definitely know when it started, and then I'll put in that it lasted an hour.
Yeah,
we can track lat longs and
Yeah, we've got that from you guys once before, and having that graphic depiction. Because I want to use it as a training. I want to use it as a training thing here, especially if we can get together with CBP and stuff like that. I think everyone worked really well on that, and we may very well see this thing in the area again. And so I'd like to have that visual thing to kind of have as a training aid. I think it'd be good to have.
Absolutely. If you call tomorrow, probably about, let me see. Can you call about after 7? Maybe like 8 o'clock?
AM?
Yeah, AM.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be up then, but I will. I'll call when I get up.
Well, I mean, you got between 7 and 3 to call and get a member of management for sure.
Okay.
That's when they'll be in the building between 7 and 3.
Perfect.
And I just ask for a member of management, and then one of the two of them downstairs should be able to get that all pulled up for you and synced up and sent over.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ben.
Hey, do you think it was a drone?
What's that?
So it was a drone?
Yeah, it was definitely a drone. I just couldn't tell you. I could not give you its dimensions as it was moving too sketchy for us to really kind of. It was. I assure you, it was not a quadricopter, and it's the most advanced drone that we've dealt with over the last decade.
What caused it that, Paul?
Its abilities were pretty incredible. I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so why is he saying it was definitely a drone? He couldn't make out its size or its shape.
Mm-hmm.
He said it definitely wasn't a quadcopter. So what's he basing his hypotheses on?
Sounds like a contradiction there, doesn't it?
He doesn't know what the thing is, there's no way he's going to say, I think it could have been alien spacecraft. It's not good for, wouldn't be a good career move with it. So I can understand him saying it was definitely a drone.
Yeah.
Because it was so maneuverable, I suppose he would come to that conclusion.
Hey JD, you still there? Good that you
Yeah,
joined us
I
anyway.
don't know. He was here.
He was over my house yesterday, and I've given him my old Borgware laptop. Only runs on battery now, but it was good enough for him, and I just wondered if he managed to get it going this morning on his internet. But anyway, yeah, it's quite interesting that this guy here seems to say we couldn't see it, couldn't identify it, but then actually saying it wasn't a quadcopter. So how is he basing it on radar or the movements? Or but he did he say that it's the most
Yeah,
sophisticated one in the scene. So he's
I
kind of
think he's
suggesting it's man-made. There, I would have
I
thought.
think he's basing it on its maneuverability. And of course, he's probably going off the basis that aliens don't exist, so it has to be something man-made.
Yeah. You reckon your link's in the side? I didn't actually see it.
So you can see that abilities are pretty incredible, huh?
Is your link in the side? I don't see it. Oh, what's happened? Are you still there? We got a glitch. Yeah. Whoa, something took out. Something took out. Are you there? Yeah, yeah. It looks like the browser crashed. No reason. The black men. Are we back? Man, that was really weird.
Whoa.
That was really weird. All my Brave browsers suddenly closed by themselves, even though they're separate. One's a portable one. We're back again though. By looks of it,
Okay.
I've had to bring my icons back here. You see, I even took out that one there that I have. Event list, in case anyone donates. I have the darts and alien.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really strange.
Anybody down the side chat there, JD, Alex, can you let me know if you can actually see the links I've left in the side chat or my comments, please?
It almost looked like someone clicked the close button on my browser and it just went boom, gone. Really weird. I tell you, I still think someone's got a backdoor to my system here. See, that's not coming up right either, you know. Something weird going on. Damn, Men in Black get us every time. Just if we start talking about drones, so that's really strange.
Yeah, see, JD can't see my links. Thanks, Jay.
You can't see his links either? I didn't think I saw your link posted. Did you hit enter key?
Because of that, they've been ghosted. I can see them, Paul. I can see the links there. And I can see where I'm trying to talk to the guys. Yeah?
Okay, post a link there without adding HTTP in front. I find sometimes it shows then.
Hold on a minute. Okay,
if you right click and post, if you right click and post it as a text, plain text, it generally works.
Right click and post it.
We lost you again.
What?
Yeah, your thing disappeared. Yeah, strange things are happening. Yeah, let me just close that one. No. We'll get him back again. It was going so well too. Oh, well, it's hard to predict these things, you know. Okay, well, we don't need to... Oh, well, we've got that up anyway. That'll do. Always when we have Robert on, it's always a problem. I'll just leave the desktop icons back on for the time being. Right, whereabouts were we? So before we were rudely interrupted...
you're just on the 3-minute mark now of the transcript.
Right. So you just want us to carry on?
Yeah. Okay.
Let us know if the audio is sounding okay, guys, if it crackles or anything. After that strange event, anyway.
Can't tell you exactly its size.
Yeah, so if it wasn't a quadcopter, you think it's one of them like Predator type stuff?
Well, it's not Predator size, right? It's not aircraft size. You know, from what I could tell just from its position light, you know, I would have to imagine it was, you know, larger than a quadricopter. And I guarantee you it's nothing like a quadricopter for how long it's been up. And it has to be satellite driven because there's no line of sight. There's no cell phone coverage that could have dealt with that. So it has to be satellite driven, which is pretty freaking sophisticated.
That's what was amazing for us. We watched you guys go up to Mount Lemmon, up above 12,000.
Right.
And then from Mount Lemmon to Marana.
Yeah, exactly.
And you started at Keno Hospital. I was like, there's no way somebody, you know, some trailer somewhere.
Right. No, yeah, and it has to be, you know, like I said, no quadricopters have that kind of, you know, iPhone ability. You can't be controlling that off an iPhone. Not only that, he was watching us. The way he was cutting back across right over the top of us, trying to do a half orbit, trying to prevent us from kind of following him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's. Yeah, I was really hoping and praying that he would run out of juice, and our plan was we were going to land and grab it before somebody missed it or before something happened to it, because I really wanted to see what kind of technology that was, but we're going to miss it tonight, I think.
All right, well, thanks for the help, and we'll let management know so they can be prepared for your call tomorrow.
Hey, thanks so much. Thanks again, Miguel. You guys did great work. Thanks for opening up the frequency for us. That was a big help.
Yeah, Chris, appreciate you coming over. Anytime we can help.
All right, man. You guys be safe.
All right, peace.
Bye.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. Certainly interesting, wasn't it?
Well, it's certainly strange and dangerous by some of it.
Yeah.
They're talking about the tic-tac buzzing fighter jet pilots, putting them in danger, but their own military wouldn't do that. But I disagree. I think they would, because they know the pilots have been trained to eject from planes, and they're willing to put it through a life simulation test right out to sea. And if they eject from mistake, and then it's $1 million lost plane or whatever.
Yeah, Paul, I don't think it's a good idea to eject from a helicopter. You know,
not from a helicopter. Yeah, this is different. But I'm talking about the Nimitz one, where they're saying the jet fighters they wouldn't put in danger, but I think they would, and because they know they can eject, and that'd be part of the exercise, whether they can eject properly and all that. Considering what they're doing in the Middle East now, leaving people behind to be tortured and killed, and dropping bombs on so-called T suspects when it turns out to be a van full of children again. This is the sort of world we live in. It's disastrous and sad at the same time. But yeah, helicopters, there's no way to escape from helicopters, is there, as far as I know.
Actually, they did invent an eject system on a helicopter, which shot the pilot out at an angle onto the side, you know. Whether that actually came to fruition or not, I don't know. They were working on it.
You'd think they'd have explosive bolts that blew off the blades in a parachute, then could be ejected. Or something, you know.
I would like to try that.
On a slight detour subject there, the flying cars are going to come in soon, I reckon. Would you go in a flying car Or would you trust it to crash? Or, would you want to have some sort of parachute backup system that you can trust? How many years before you actually step in one and try one yourself as a taxi service and all that? They're talking about flying cars pretty seriously all over the place now. As you know, they've been tested in Nelson on a little airport up here, the Google car. And it charges up on lithium batteries and has enough charge to fly the person to their house and then lift off and then fly back, and it's all computer controlled and all that sort of stuff, but only carries a couple of passengers and suitcases. Now, they've been trying that for years now, but I think there's a few more competitors come to light that might be even SpaceX maybe doing something too, I reckon. But I think eventually they're going to come in and it'll be the way of the future. It'll be like Jetsons, I guess. But I don't know if I'd get in one. It's like the vax. The doctor says I can have the vax, but I'm on these methotrexate pills that lower your immune system, and I'm sort of worried. Am I the lucky guy that will be the 1 in 3 million chance that I'm going to die from the vax? So it's still scary. So many unknowns in this world that stuff could kill you, even though it's meant to be helping you. And the vax is one of the things that's being pushed through our country at the moment. I think we're like the test bed or something going on here. We've had like martial law. You weren't allowed to leave the houses even, and if you got caught without a mask on, you'd be fined or thrown in prison. It's just, I think they use New Zealand like how much the government can get away with and then roll it out to other countries. But anyway, I shouldn't talk about that. Probably won't have ads on talking about conspiracies like that. But back to UFOs.
Just to finish now on this Tucson event, I suppose there is a possibility that it was a highly advanced drone controlled by a satellite, which it would have had to have been to make the precision moves. I think that's a chance. It's possible. Who knows what they've got now. I also think, considering there's been other incidents like this that went back years and years before there was any drone even invented, and there's a possibility that it was something anomalous as well. And I'll tell you what we can do now. We can have a look at another incident that happened all the way back in the 1970s. It's known as the Mansfield incident, or the Coin UFO helicopter UFO incident.
Right.
It's all the way back in 1973. Yeah. This was an extraordinary case.
I see you got Mr. Grey on your T-shirt there. Is it or a vision of Mr. Grey?
Oh, I'm not really sure. Yeah, it's got humans don't exist underneath.
Cool.
So yeah.
Aliens don't exist, humans don't exist. Yeah, it's true. Did you know there's a fourth movie coming up on the Matrix soon? That will be good. Looks like they're going to redo it. Like, isn't it the guy that they brought into the Matrix? He's now going to be the leader, like the black guy, whatever his name was. He was like the leader. I think this new guy will be the leader, and he'll be waking up people, probably. I think that's how it's going to go. It's like a reboot, I suppose. Should be fun, anyway. No, that's not the Out There hoodie. It's just a random one that Rob's got.
Yeah, this is just an eBay job.
Yeah. Yes, JD, he's got one with Charlie Roo on the front. Wears it down the dog park.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like the dog gets all excited when he sees him coming now. He's sort of become part of the family, JD. Anyway, we better move on.
Yeah, the Coin incident, okay, that happened at Mansfield, Ohio, 1973. And what basically happened, there was an Army reserve helicopter and it encountered a UFO, quite a large metallic disc. It was around, the helicopter was flying at 2,500 feet at the time. And to just concise version of the story, this disc was quite close to them, and it suddenly, they seen a blue light on one side of it, but then as they got closer, it emitted a beam which engulfed the cockpit of the helicopter.
Yeah, I think we talked about that one in the past, didn't we?
We have some time ago, yeah. The helicopter went into a steep dive then because they felt like a bit of a heat wave with this beam. Yeah. And suddenly, before they knew it, they weren't going down, they were going up.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, at incredible speed.
At incredible speed, but they felt no G-forces whatsoever. Now, that wasn't just picked up on radar, it was seen by the tower. It was seen by multiple other witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
There's one hell of a case, and I think it's one of the, if you look at all the details of the case, but I can't post a link to it.
Because, I need to include that on my the best UFO cases chat when I'm building.
Definitely, it's absolutely so well up there.
I need lots of people to bring up all the names of these things and dates, because I'm no good at that sort of stuff. You know how you sort of look at one case and you think, oh yeah, I forgot about this other case that needs to go in the chat too. But I'm just trying to list all the best ones based on video, photos, and eyewitness accounts. I haven't done trace evidence.
That year was just a fantastic year. There was so many good sites.
People say there's no evidence of UFOs, but once you build up a chart of all this stuff, you can see, well, are all these multiple witnesses wrong? Do you really think that's not a UFO in that video or photograph? You know, and then you got that with multiple witnesses on top as well. But then there's a lot of good stuff that's hidden that we'll never get to see, that a lot of these military people have talked about. From what was the guy that's talked about the laser, the UFO shooting a laser at the cone and off the missile and it fell off? What was that guy's name? I was trying to remember it, and I said, I wish Robert was here, because he would know straight off his top of his head who the guy's name is, so I can add him to the chat.
It's Robert Jacobs.
Robert Jacobs, that's it. I said it's Robert someone, Robert Hastings, and I was going through all the names, and I said, no, it's not that one. I said, there's too many Roberts in ufology. There's a lot of Roberts in ufology. It seems like a common name.
It was in the 60s. Big Sur incident, it's known as.
Right, yeah.
That was just an absolutely outstanding case. The great thing about that is his boss backed him up.
Yeah. But unfortunately, they're hiding the video that everybody wants to see.
Yeah, his boss's name was Terence Mansman.
Now, do you get idiots posting comments on your videos saying there's no such thing as aliens, they're all demons and aliens, and you're mental that you think there's aliens here on our planet and all this sort of... Do you get people posting stupid comments like that on your videos that don't even bother watching the video in first place and seeing what evidence I present to them? They straight away start posting all this crazy religious mumbo bumbo and their own sort of belief system, and it's just rampant. I'm not sure if you heard of the brand new Tube, but a lot of conspiracy minds and crazy people seem to live there. But I seem to get a lot of views on my stuff there. Maybe you should give it a try uploading there and see how you go. But if you want some crazy people to talk to, that place seems to attract them. The flat earthers, and they think there's no space and no space station and no moon landing, and they think, oh god, can't these people Just listen and follow the evidence. You know, we got HD photographs of the landing site up there now. Just listen. You can see the tracks, and you can even line up the satellite photographs with the old footage where they're filming where the rover went, and you can trace it around if you want to really spend the time proving it to yourself. But anyway, brand new tube, guys. Go and join it. I've got at the moment 184 subs there, and I've only been on it a year, but it's growing quite fast. And Rumble seems to be shooting up quite a bit there. BitChute has gone very slow. I thought it would have been up to 2,000 by now. But yeah, you can see YouTube keeps going backwards. Every time I get a sub on YouTube, I lose 2. And it keeps going backwards. And they think it's not broken. I think what's happened is they've implemented a new bot that as soon as you get a new sub, it checks them to see whether they're a fake sub. You know how people can buy subs. And if they think it's a fake sub, they remove it. So yeah, check that you actually re-subbed to me if you subbed, and see if you're still connected to me. They might believe that you're a Russian, bought sub. But I also think they go purposely out the way on UFO channels now to look for non-active members, people that haven't bothered reading a comment or posting a comment or actually watching a video for a long time. They'd simply delete you off that subscription. But I've yet to see it happen on security and third phase. No, they only got 20,000 watching them on third phase, and they really should have 680,000 subs removed from them that don't bother showing up and watching their stuff, because they're what you call dead subs. Of course, Google doesn't give out the play button stuff now. They've put in a disclaimer that they may not give you a certificate and all that now. Maybe because they're not too sure whether you did it genuinely or not, whether you bought subs or not. It's getting a bit harder for them to detect it, because all they do is get people to sign up to accounts, right? And it's a real person that gets paid to go and to visit your channel and join up and make a comment, right? And it's very hard for them to detect. So maybe their bot's got a fault in it, and it's removing genuine people that are subscribing. But yeah, almost given up on YouTube. But you got to keep on building it on the other alt media platforms now. They seem to be picking up. So yeah. Also, you should be backing up your stuff on these platforms, Robert, not just on Facebook, if you could. Even if you just release some of the more public ones, just to give yourself some promotion to the Facebook page or group, that would be a good idea. It's just more work, though, for you.
The only thing, Paul, I don't want too many more members, I've got nearly 500 now. And that's a nice manageable size, because I don't hold posts for approval because everybody's trusted, you see. Everybody knew I get in, I've got to get, I'm a little bit on tenterhooks what they're going to post. Good God, I've had someone trying to turn my group into a recruitment agency. Another one tried to
for what,
everyone's apology.
You wanted everybody's apology?
Scientology.
Oh, Scientology. I thought you said apology.
Somebody tried to convert everybody in the group to Scientology, another one to some kind of crazy new... so I've had to get rid of quite a lot of people, Yeah. But, I've got it down now to a point where I kind of don't know everybody on the group. Of course, it's impossible. I don't know 500 people that well, but I know the ones that do post always post sensible stuff.
Yeah,
I get a lot of good stuff coming in from like Scott Brown, William Poulin, Peter Robbins just posted about 10 minutes ago. I've seen. and some of the guys that aren't that well known, they come in with good posts as well.
Yeah.
And I try to put about 5 to 6 posts a day at myself, just to keep the group active.
I've tried to get people on my Gab group because I left Facebook. And I've got like over 33 on there, but none of them post. It's me doing all the posting and,
that's not good.
Promotion.
And if you're not getting comments on posts, then that's not good.
Well, I do comments, and some people do comments, and I do reply back to them. But it's good to have people that will post stuff and start the chat going. If you want to join my Gab, it's on that link at the top there. I think, did I put it on that one? I think so. Oh, maybe not. But you can find me. It's just out there channel on Gab, and you'll find me quite easily. But, if you want to join there and start posting, go ahead. Because I sometimes wonder if they've got a bug in the system, no one can post, and no one's bothered. No one can tell me they can't post or something. I don't know. It's just so much changes happening all the time. And so much censorship and so much craziness in the world at the moment. But if we didn't have ufology to sort of vegetate on, and all the sci-fi stuff that's revolved around it, and keep your imagination going instead of just focusing on all the news and sad shit that's happening in the world, you'd go crazy. What's another series I was watching that was quite good? Did you look at that Showtime 4-part UFO series? It was had lots of fake footage in it, but there was some balance in it. They were trying to debunk. They had some people on there trying to debunk claims, and they had Mr. Doty on, and he kind of actually made sense in what he was saying as well. Saying that he feeds truth with disinformation, and it's a bit hard to tell which is the truth and which is disinformation. I thought, exactly, mate, you caused the right problem, didn't you? And we still don't know what's truthful, what he's telling us about these.
No, we don't know if he's still working or not, do we? We just don't know, or whether it's part of his mindset where he feels the need to deceive people.
But I was going to ask, is he part of your group now? Because I know you were talking to him at one stage.
Richard Doty, he's still on my friends list, yes. But I haven't talked to him for some time. And when I was sending invites, because I knew I could get a hard core of 70, 80 people. I mean, out of 100 or so people I knew in ufology. And that are on Facebook, I'm talking about now. I knew that maybe 2/3 of them would join, so I'd have the basis of a good UFO page anyway. But when I was going through the who shall I invite, I looked at Doty and I thought, no, because a lot of people have never forgiven him what he done to Paul Benowitz,
No.
There was no need for what happened there. If what he's seen at Kirtland Air Force Base was just a secret project, then
he could have just said to him, it's a secret project. I got some
exactly. Thank you, Paul. That's just what I was going to say, because Paul Benowitz, he actually had a contract with the Air Force, because he had his own company called Thunder Electric, where he sold like really high-end computer stuff, related stuff and hardware. And he had a good relationship with the Air Force. And when he discovered something anomalous at Kirtland, what did he do? Being a true patriot, he went to them and told them what was going on. So really all he had to do was say, listen, Paul, thank you, for coming forward with this. We didn't realise it could be detected. What you're witnessing is something that we can't let you in on, but we can tell you it's ours and it's top secret. And I'm sure that would have been the end of the matter, but no, whatever it was he was seeing makes you think that maybe it wasn't military at all. And they wound the hell out, wound him up something wrong. They turned him into a paranoid wreck. He ended up in an asylum on 3 separate occasions, and we still don't know how his life ended. Most believe it was suicide.
Yeah.
And there was even injection marks found on him, and he was telling people that, you know, the aliens were injecting him with stuff, and it may all. And apparently there was actually needle marks that came from a couple of his best friends and family. He had needle marks.
Sometimes I wonder if
himself.
I often wonder if military men can dress up as aliens and show up in your house at night because they can break in, right?
Yeah,
they don't know how to open it. It does scare the shit out of them, and maybe that's what happened. Maybe it was them. Yeah,
they call it
not
my
be
lab.
aliens at all.
They call it my lab.
Yeah.
Military abduction.
But then again, we just don't know the truth, and this is why it's so frustrating in this thing. Is it Black Ops? Can they tell us, come out and say, yeah, it's all us all the time when we're putting out this information about aliens? Then we'd all be happy, you know. Can you unblack all those secret documents in your vault and just release them to Black Vaults to analyze, and he can bring us the summary of all of them. That's what we need to happen. It just needs some honesty, and just to make it all public, and just who cares if the Russians know that now you got a secret weapon that can wipe them out in 2 seconds, you know? Who cares? We just want to know the truth. We're the only live person in people races in the world or the universe or whatever. But such a frustrating field to be in. It could be this, it could be that, it could be a mix of everything, and not everybody's telling the truth about it. And
personally, I'm not a big fan of this my lab military abduction thing. You know, I'm not saying it's never happened, but it certainly doesn't account for all abductions. No chance.
I know they can implant images in your brain now. Whether the military got more advanced systems that can do that. If they're close to your house, they can transmit, like when you're sleeping, into your head these crazy dreams, right? And scare the crap out of you, like it to you. It really happened. So we just don't know. That's the problem in this field. And it's so frustrating. And maybe we'll never know, and we'll die, and we never had the answers before we died, which is often the case, isn't it? So who's out there still? We've got 2 people out there. 2 people that's interested in talking about UFOs and the craziness of it all. Are you still there, JD? What's that? Sounds like flat something. What's that say there? As you know, Robert goes to the toilet a lot. I'm not sure if you're on your laptop or not, but we know you only got about an hour. We must be going about an hour already now. So you may have gone.
No, I'm still here.
I was talking to JD on the side. It looks like he's still around. The mysteries continue. Carry on. What's this picture? You want to talk about the picture? How long you got? What's the time now? Is it 2 o'clock almost, is it?
Okay. It's nearly 2 o'clock. We can go till about 20 past, if that's okay with you.
Well, it's up to you. You can. I'm willing to go as long as you want to.
Yeah. Okay.
So you wanted to talk about this one now, or?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Now this appeared on a popular UFO page, which has 72,000 members.
Right.
Okay.
That's quite a lot.
72,000 members. And this post caused a sensation.
Yeah. So explain that.
Okay. Okay. No, the first thing. Okay, can you pull out now and show the document as a whole? There we go. Ideal. So I just want to know what people in the side chat and what you yourself think about that as a document. What's your first thoughts on it?
Amateurish, something put out by like a very old bulletin board system where someone's written a story out in WordPad and stuck a few graphics they drew on the side. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like a government document at all, even though it says South African Air Force. It doesn't look official. It doesn't have like the stamps they have and the letterhead and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm really skeptical about this document.
Well, apart from all that, but one little interesting detail. Focus on the craft now and tell me what you see.
Sakura, it looks like. It's got, is it one landing leg, and it's got the steps to another landing leg, which is kind of strange.
Yeah, look at the symbol.
Symbol looks a bit like the Skyro thing.
Exactly like Sakura. It's identical.
Yeah.
Now, there must have been 100 comments on this post, and everyone was getting so excited. Yeah? Nobody even questioned the authenticity of the document. The document is a complete utter. The document is a hoax.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said. It didn't look official.
So anyway, I knew it was a hoax, but I couldn't prove it immediately.
Right. So what did you say to him?
So what I'd done, I contacted, obviously saved it to my desktop. Contacted someone that I knew in South Africa that would have known, basically, and he said, "Oh no, not this one again. It's a hoax. The typeface is wrong. But basically, everything was wrong." So when I posted this, and pissed on the firework, good God, you will not believe Stickard. Unbelievable. But that just shows just what's wrong in the field today. Nobody questions anything. I mean, it's blind faith. I know that. Just to believe something at face value, because so I even questioned the guy who posted it. And fair play, he didn't hide. He said, "Oh well, what it was uploaded by an anonymous source on Reddit." Oh, so there's your clue. Straight away. It's the whole problem in the UFO community, and it's a shame. Nobody bothers to question anything, and they'll just believe anything. I mean, to think that this looks like a mugshot of an alien you'd see in a police report, doesn't it?
Do you know if Dolan picked up on this document and started broadcasting it? Do you know?
But even Dolan's not that stupid.
No, he didn't even produce it. But he has been putting out crap, though, lately. And he's been getting called out on things lately, hasn't he? So...
I mean, if that document was real, it would almost be conclusive proof, isn't it, of alien life? So why didn't people say, "Whoa, hold on, where did this come from?" Why didn't one person ask, "Where did this come from?"
Yeah, here was the source. Normally you can do reverse image search and maybe find it that way, and see where the first source become available, especially if you use TinEye. Bit better than Google, I think, by a lot. Yeah, so
the UFO community is mad, absolutely stark raving bonkers. I don't know what I'm just lost for words to be honest. Like disillusioned really with people's a lack of ability to think for themselves.
Yeah, but I try to show people how to research and do things on my show. That's if they can be bothered. Most of them have got 10-minute attention spans, and they need to, if they want to, if they take ufology seriously, not live off Tyler type videos, and you're going to have to spend the time watching 2-hour podcasts where they have interviews with people and people that've seen the sightings, or real leakers, not fake leakers like Secure Team put out. He's even got a new header saying he's a #1 leaker, but he's not. He's just a kid. Yeah, hi Jerry, how's it going? You're a bit late to the party. We got Robert Farmer on. He's a ex-host back again for a quick chat up. Maybe one a month. Who knows? We'll see how it goes, or maybe 2 a month. Depending if he's got something he wants to bring our attention to. But yeah, it's hard not to be depressed about the people in ufology, really, and how some of them, how stupid they can be. And you think, oh, Jesus, why don't you just listen and just watch what we're showing you here? Because by the end of it, you'll get it.
Well, people shouldn't have to listen to a show. People should learn their own skills. I didn't have to do anything hard. I just contacted somebody. That's all.
Yeah, I must admit, my critical thinking went up with the UFO field. Once I started seeing security emails being sent to me by friends and saying, have a look at this, my critical thinking increased tenfold when I started thinking I got to research this guy, and when I found out all the stuff I did, and I thought, well, can I produce my own YouTube channel? I don't know how to make even a video, so I had to do a lot of learning and created a channel and started uploading stuff. But of course I didn't get into debunking straight away. I talked about my own UFO sightings, and I did some documentaries and stuff like that, but before leaping into exposing some of the online stuff. But yeah, that's what everybody thinks is all my materials comes from Secure Team, which is nonsense. Today's episode is a point in the light that there's a lot of content I've got there that's unique, and all that research episodes that we do, and we're trying to find out the answers. It's definitely unique, and no one else is doing it, and it needs to be done. But yes, this matter of finding all the time and energy to do it, of course, because my health has been up and down lately as well. So how are you going there with all the lockdown and all that with the new Delta? Have you been sick at all or anything since your last time you had it?
No. I've actually got my first jab.
Oh, you got the
Saturday.
Delta jab?
No. I don't know what's in it. I haven't been vaccinated. That's all.
Is it the Pfizer jab? That's the safest one. But
it's the Oxford one.
It only lasts 2 months, I'm not saying, and you have to keep getting it every 2 months. We'll see.
Oh God.
Yeah. I think it's going to be like a flu jab. It's going to be included like a flu jab, and you have to get an update to it every year, probably.
Yeah.
But I just thought maybe you got sick again, or
no.
Do you know anyone that died from it?
I put it this way. I've got a friend who's been in a coma now for the last 5 days. He was a member of my group.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, Professor Scott Freeman. Yeah, I know.
How old is he? Do you know his age?
I don't know his exact age, but I would say he's in his middle 40s. That's all.
Well, that's pretty young.
And I'd even arranged for him to come onto the other channel that I'm with. I'm doing an interview, and he was up for that. And now he's in a coma. Today he's taken a slight turn for the worst.
No.
He's on dialysis machine for his kidneys. He's in induced coma. They're going to have to do a trachectomy now to keep him breathing. It's awful.
No,
I
it's
just feel so
disgusting,
bad for his wife and his children and everybody. And as far as I know, as far as I understand, the guy was double vaccinated, Paul.
Yeah. Really? That's not good.
No.
Maybe it wore after 2 months then. That's what they're saying. But, yeah, I suppose we shouldn't talk about it really, but it's a bit hard not to talk about it because it's the thing that's influencing our lives quite a lot at the moment.
Well, it's
of course,
world, doesn't it?
Yeah, all this lockdown though really is really annoying though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but keep it away from everyone is certainly the safest policy, but still, it's not good for our health, you know. We're sort of getting cabin fever sometimes now. Where you just want to get out the house and go to the park or something, you know. Well, maybe we should just wrap up there for today. Thanks for everybody that showed up today for the support, and cheers, guys. I didn't broadcast this around. Maybe I should have. Maybe more people would come along. I don't know. But yeah, you can put it up on your channel if you want to and whatever. But or you can cut out bits if you want to and use it on your own channel. That's fine by me. The idea of my channel was not to take copyright seriously and make the subject more free available, and hopefully people don't make money off your own work though, but really are into the topic itself and trying to find the answers as well. I just want to get people thinking how I think about things, and maybe they can help out with the research and come on live shows, and maybe get some people that are brave enough to talk about their own experiences, because once you tell it, it's sort of like a release, you know, you can release it then.
I could maybe get a couple of people for you, you know.
That release, I tell mine normally a few days after, and I think about it and document it. You should document everything that sort of you don't sort of pay much attention to, like finding that your clocks are always dying on the same hour, you know, like what happened today, like the browser is closing down automatically by itself for no reason, and stopped us chatting when you were just getting into it on the stuff on the drone. That was just crazy. Keep a log of everything crazy that happens if you think you're experiencing something, because certain things happen at certain times regularly, 4 o'clock in the morning or 3 in the morning or whatever. Apart from that, pretty much talked out now myself. But I will be doing another show. I've got lots to catch up on, and I'll talk about the Dark Pyramid some more tomorrow, and do a review of that episode with Linda on, so watch out for that. And yeah, it's been great with a couple of stories that you brought here with the drone stuff, and just catching up again. But yeah, if you've got any other stuff that you want to bring forward and talk about, infighting or Lou stuff or government stuff that I don't generally cover too much. I don't normally want to cover the mainstream because everybody else is doing it, or have a look at other more interesting stuff. But if you want to come and talk about that stuff, you're quite welcome to.
You can do it all again next Sunday if you like, you know.
Yeah, we could do that. Well, it's actually my Monday, but yeah, we could.
Monday, of course. That's not like Sunday midnight for me. See, if anybody is round on the Sunday, they're gone by midnight anyway.
Well, it's summer now, so we wake up early anyway. But we had a terrible storm last night. As soon as I went to bed, the storm hit, and it was wicked. Not if JD's out there on the side still, but he would tell you, you think the roof was going to lift off the house at some stage. So I was in bed, always listening to the storm for 5 hours, and I didn't fall asleep probably to 7 a.m. And so yeah, I probably crashed later. But in the end, it was 10 o'clock, and I thought, now I'll get up and cook some egg and bacon and get a cup of tea, and I'll be getting set up for Rob, and everything went to plan. Apart from that little glitch in the middle there. So yeah, I suppose we better say goodnight to everybody, and stay safe on the roads, people, and of course get the vaccination, even though it may not help. Stay away from people that are infected.
Well, it's going to have to give you a better chance. There's no doubt about that. So,
yeah.
I mean, I think the risks of having it are outweighed by the benefits.
Yeah. Okay, Dan, it's good night. Yeah. So yeah. Do you want me to end now, or you want to say some more bits at the end?
Do you know, I don't think there's anything to add, but
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. Like, I'll see if I can maybe get Michael to come on the show sometime in the future. Now that he's done one, you may be happy to get the word out and do another one. He's an experiencer. Oh, another interesting thing. Another experiencer that I met. Her name is Kate Lawler, and she's actually wrote a lifetime of experiences down in a transcript for a book. And what she's done, she's sent me the transcript of all her experiences.
I don't like it when people put it in the book to sell. It's all right putting it into a book to give away.
She's not bothered about that. She was persuaded into it, Paul, by other people, saying, "Listen, you need to do this. You need to do this." She doesn't give a damn. She even paid for the postage for it to get here. You know, she doesn't give a damn about money.
There's another woman at the moment, Angelia, or whatever her name is. Yeah. There's another woman that's doing the rounds and upsetting people. Angelia or something like that.
Oh, God, yeah.
The underground tunnel in Arizona or something.
She's ex-Defense Intelligence Agency.
Sounds really bullshitty to me, her story, some of it I heard. That she's actually using her phone like a torch instead of using it for a video to get any evidence. And apparently she's in a wheelchair as well, isn't she? From what I read on a tweet. So why would you go into a cave, wheeling along in a wheelchair, using your torch, your phone as a torch? And if that goes out, you're in the pitch black. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever to me. That story.
She's already come in for a lot of stick, you know. Yeah. She kind of she failed as an author. She's failed at a couple of things, and now it seems she's trying to pull the wool over the eyes of the UFO community. So, but the only thing is that a couple of the things she's been saying, the people that she claims she was connected to, some people have done some research on that, and that part at least checks out. So anyway, it's one of those. It's going to crash and burn if it's not true, because she said all will be revealed by the end of this year. So it's
See, I meet a lot of experiences on, posting up all their little little dots in the sky moving around, but they're not using any of the apps to back up their claims, and they're not doing a side-by-side showing that the app shows no planes and all that. And to me, that's just not good enough. Just filming dots in the sky, which could be anything, it's just not going to move the UFO field forward or make them more believable if they don't do it right in the first place. And eventually they start abusing me and blocking me and all that sort of stuff. But I'm just trying to make everybody get on the same page and be better, and better documenting things, and because the government's not going to tell us, so we got to do it together as a refined unit of using science and using technology the best we can do to prove our case. So yeah, but I'm open to listen to any of the stories out there, but I know some attention seekers and tell lies. They may have had an experience in the past, and then they just fabricate stuff, or they think they're being followed all the time by UFOs. Like aliens haven't got something better to do, you know. Why would a UFO be following you around all the time, you know? Doesn't make sense. They might send a little drone out, you know, like a foot long, just to keep an eye on you in the sky, and it might be cloaked and you wouldn't even see it. So they just can protect you. Maybe you're carrying a baby or something. I don't know. But to me, a lot of the crazy people out there just seem to ruin it as well, like that. But yeah, if you got some of the most credible stuff I've heard has been up and close visual stuff that people have seen. You know, the classic flying saucer hovering over the forest and shooting upwards into the sky. And there are people out there that have those experiences. And I don't believe all of them are telling lies, of course. I think most of them are telling the truth, because sometimes they have other witnesses with them, which is good. But obviously they don't catch it on film, which is a bit disappointing. But like I said, as the technology progresses and it rolls out on the phones, everybody's got no excuse for not having a camera and go and grab it and at least take a photograph of it. So yeah, Robert, you gone? Did he go to the toilet, or was he dropped off? It's because I was going to wrap up now. We don't want to turn it into a rant at the end here. But I'm just saying that there was a wee bit of ranting tonight, and it's good to get it off your chest. And we don't hate anybody. Just make sure that we're being critical. We might put you through the ringer, but it doesn't mean that we hate you or disbelieve you. We just want to see how you respond and cope with the extra questioning. Yeah, looks like he's gone. But anyway, I'm just going to shut down now anyway. I think his friend's showing up, has it? I think he might have just popped on. I just closed it down. I'll just bring it back up again, just in case he wants to say goodnight. Maybe he had an internet connection problem. He still would have the side chat though, wouldn't he? We got two Roberts. See, I tell you, every time we have Robert on, we have the Men in Black show up. Which will the real Roberts stand up? No, we got two Roberts, and none of them are talking. Hello. Roberts? Oh yeah, we're just going to say goodnight anyway. I tell you, it's been a crazy night. It's been fun though. This is what we expect in ufology. We do have crazy stuff like this happen all the time. Okay guys, I'll just say goodnight to JD. Thanks for joining us. Jasper, thanks for joining us, and the donations. Remember, you can go to our web link there and donate anytime. We got to get that $100 out of that subscribe stuff. If you're not a member, please join and give us a tip there. You can tip as much as you want, so we can keep going after Christmas. I know other UFO channels have people throwing money at them, but for some reason they don't like me. Okay, and Robert might be on next Sunday again, so let's see how it goes. Good night, and take care on the roads, everybody. Looks like everybody's just started showing up. Go back and watch the beginning. It's a good episode, if you missed it. It'll probably take Google probably 20 minutes to process it properly, and then it'll play without glitches probably. And they've been slow lately, but they're getting faster again. You know when it's processed, the side chat will pop up, hopefully. And then I'll upload it to the alt media places, anyone that doesn't like YouTube, like. So we got up to 7 people watching. Goofon will be saying, oh, he only has 7 people watching. Well. 7 people with brains, so they say. Out of the whole mythology, right? Yeah, sorry Robert, we had 2 of you on the screen. If you have a look at the end, I'm not sure what happened there. Another strange mystery. It was fun. Although I got space in that.